Imagine you live in a beautiful city with a large river flowing through the center. It's been raining heavily across the region for several weeks, and you hear on the news that the risk of the river bursting its banks has become quite severe. So the agricultural fields, a few kilometers upstream, will now be deliberately flooded to protect you and your neighbors downstream in the city. You probably think, great, that's fair. There are many more people living in the cities than the countryside, so we should be protected. But is it the best strategy for sustainable development? That question must be asked, because disaster risk management nowadays aims at promoting sustainable societies while being inclusive and leaving no one behind. My name is Mathilde Goer de Herve, and my research led to the creation of a framework called Risk Justice, which encourages the consideration of procedural, distributive, and corrective justice for making disaster risk management contributes better to the many aspects of sustainable development. It is a tool that can be used retrospectively by evaluators and researchers when studying and judging past and current disaster risk management strategies, and it can also be used proactively by policymakers and risk managers to choose the strategies that are the fairest among different options. Most research looking at justice in disaster risk management questions the definition of justice. What is fair or not? For instance, should the strategy protect the highest number of people possible? Or should it protect the most vulnerable people first? Or the ones who pay first? My research, on the other hand, adds several dimensions of sustainability to the table, namely social, ecological, spatial, and temporal justice. All these should be considered, whatever the meaning of justice is. To come back to our example, we would ask questions such as, who decided to flood the fields? Who had a say in that? What is the impact on the local ecosystems? How do we consider those points of view? Who should compensate the farmers for the harm that will result from flooding their fields? For how long will local food production be affected? What impacts will that strategy have on future generations? This approach is important because today we see an overemphasis on social and spatial aspects in most international risk management guidelines compared to ecological and temporal ones. All of these aspects are essential in building healthier and fairer societies. Trade-off might be inevitable. That is why it is vital to consider transparently all those dimensions of justice in order to promote more sustainable societies while managing disaster risks. Thank you for your attention. If you want to know more, have a look at this paper and get in touch.